Need for Speed Most Wanted isn't just one of the best racing games in history. It's a title that transcended its genre. It wasn't just another NFS, it was a revolution. The Blacklist, the iconic police chases, and Rockport, the virtual city that still gives us a nostalgic tear in the eye. Everyone who launched Most Wanted felt they were part of something bigger than just a race. This year marks the game's 20th anniversary, and given how incredible it was and how many unforgettable memories it gave us, it would be a crime not to talk about it. Racing games often fall into two categories. Some focus on pure speed and exotic supercars, while others embrace street culture and vehicle customization. Need for Speed Most Wanted did the impossible. It merged these two worlds into one unforgettable experience. On one side, we had an extensive lineup of cars and customization options, bringing the underground legacy to the forefront. But on the other, we saw the triumphant return of police chases, a signature element of the classic Need for Speed titles. The result? A game that wasn't just about crossing the finish line first. In Rockport, sometimes the race was just the beginning. The moment sirens blared and roadblocks appeared, the real challenge began. You weren't just fighting for victory, you were fighting to escape. The driving mechanics fit this combination perfectly. Cars had weight, you could feel their mass, making every decision on the road crucial. Do you risk a tight shortcut knowing that a wrong move could send you crashing into a wall? Or do you opt for the open highway where the cops could call for backup and trap you in a high-speed pursuit? This blend of customization, competition, and relentless pressure made Most Wanted something more than just a game. It was adrenaline, hard-coded into every race. Some games impress with sheer graphical power, stunning realism, photorealistic reflections, and meticulously detailed textures. But Need for Speed Most Wanted took a different path. Instead of chasing technological perfection, the developers focused on something rarely prioritized in racing games: atmosphere. Rockport is not a sterile, lifeless metropolis. It's a city that feels alive in its own gritty way. Industrial zones, worn-out bridges, and abandoned warehouses all contribute to its distinct personality. Everything is wrapped up in a subtle filter that adds a layer of dirt and character. Unlike previous Need for Speed games that thrived on neon lights and nighttime street racing, Most Wanted shifts the action to a gloomy autumn afternoon. This decision made the game stand out visually, creating an identity unlike anything the series had done before. But it's not just about colors. Every street in Rockport seems deliberately designed to resemble a real city rather than a racetrack. Wide boulevards, tight alleyways, and memorable landmarks make the world feel organic. The city isn't just a background, it's an integral part of the gameplay, a space that you learn to navigate and master. Rockport is full of contrasts. Peaceful suburban roads can turn into high-speed battlegrounds in an instant the moment sirens echo in the distance. Each district has its own distinct vibe: sleek corporate towers in the city center, desolate warehouses on the outskirts. This diversity ensures that the experience never feels repetitive. Whether you're blasting down the highway or weaving through tight backstreets, Rockport always keeps things fresh. It's a city that doesn't just look unique, it actively shapes the way you play. Many players remember Most Wanted not just for its thrilling races, but for something even bigger: the police chases that took the experience to an entirely new level. These weren't just simple pursuits like in the previous games. Here, the cops weren't just a background element. They were an active, relentless force that injected every race with pure adrenaline. Police cars in this game weren't just set pieces. They were your true enemies, determined to take you down. And it wasn't just about their aggression. No, it was about how intelligently they adapted to your movements. At first, standard patrol Crown Victorias would try to cut you off, but the longer you stayed in a chase, the more intense it got. SUVs would attempt to ram you off the road, and at the highest heat levels, you'd be facing armored units blocking entire streets and helicopters dropping spike strips from above. Every pursuit felt like a true action movie sequence where you could never predict how things would unfold. One wrong move, a miscalculated turn, crashing into a roadblock, and you'd find yourself busted, losing not just time, but also all the progress you had fought so hard to earn. This level of unpredictability made every police encounter a true test of skill and reflexes. To this day, Most Wanted's pursuit system remains one of the best in racing game history. It's intense, dynamic, and packed with heart-pounding moments, making every escape an unforgettable experience. But not every racing game needs to chase ultra-realistic physics. Sometimes, the most important thing is that driving feels satisfying and gives the player a true sense of control. Need for Speed Most Wanted found that perfect balance between simulation and pure arcade fun. And that is exactly what makes it so addictive. The cars in Most Wanted have a noticeable weight. They're not featherlight machines that glide effortlessly through turns. Each vehicle feels distinct. You can tell the difference between the nimble handling of a sports coupe and the raw power of a heavy muscle car. At the same time, the controls are intuitive enough that even players with very little experience in racing games can quickly get into the flow. But the real magic lies in the speed. When you push past 200 kilometers an hour and take a corner on the edge of control, you feel the rush, the tension. The cars aren't simply glued to the road, yet they still offer enough grip to make every maneuver meaningful. And then there's the collision system. Every crash has weight, every impact feels substantial. Smashing into a police roadblock can completely change the outcome of a chase, forcing you to rethink your escape strategy. This unique blend of realism and arcade-style gameplay is what makes Most Wanted so endlessly playable. The driving isn't frustratingly difficult, nor is it mindlessly easy. It hits that perfect sweet spot where every move feels rewarding, and every high-speed getaway is pure unfiltered adrenaline. Now, most racing games follow a simple formula. Win races, unlock new cars, climb the ranks. But Most Wanted did things differently. Here, competition had a face. Quite literally. The Blacklist system introduced a narrative layer that gave every race a personal touch. You weren't just competing against nameless AI drivers, you were challenging the 15 best racers in Rockport, each with their own driving style and personality. Instead of just completing events, you felt like you were systematically taking down the competition and climbing your way to the top. But it wasn't just about the story. The way you progressed through the Blacklist was brilliantly designed. I mean, winning a race wasn't just enough. You had to earn enough bounty, cause enough chaos, and prove to the police that you were a true threat before you could even challenge the next rival. This created a sense of progression that wasn't just about, money or cars, it was about building your own legend. Each Blacklist racer had a distinct driving style and a signature car that you could win after defeating them. This added an extra layer of motivation, not just to advance, but to claim those uniquely customized machines that stood out from the standard showroom models. It's because of this that Most Wanted wasn't just another racing game, it was a journey, one where every step felt significant and every victory was sweeter because it was part of a bigger story. A racing game soundtrack is more than just background noise. It's the driving force behind the action, setting the rhythm for the entire experience. In a Need for Speed Most Wanted, music plays a crucial role, intensifying the tension during races and heightening the drama of police chases. The game delivers a perfect mix of rock, hip-hop, and electronic beats, capturing the raw energy of illegal street racing. From heavy guitar riffs to pounding bass lines, every track was carefully selected to match the atmosphere. But music here isn't just for show. When the cops start closing in, the licensed songs fade away, replaced by a dark, intense original score, composed specifically for the game. These dynamic shifts in the audio make it clear. No matter if you're watching the speedometer or not, you feel when things are getting serious. But music is only part of the equation. The sound design in Most Wanted is nothing short of masterful. Every car has a distinct engine roar, from the deep growl of American muscle cars to that high-pitched whine of Japanese tuners. And the police, well, they don't just chase you, they shout. Through the radio, you hear frantic officers coordinating, their frustration growing as you slip away, and urgent commands being barked out in real time. This level of detail creates an unparalleled sense of immersion, making you truly feel like Rockport's most wanted street racer. And then there are the sound effects. Screeching tires, the crunch of metal against barriers, the deafening roar of a helicopter hovering overhead. Every impact, every moment of chaos is brought to life through sound, making Most Wanted not just a game you play, but a full-blown cinematic experience. It's the perfect marriage of music and audio design that makes every race and every pursuit an unforgettable thrill ride. But if we look at most racing games, they tend to treat the story as an afterthought. Usually just a flimsy excuse to start racing and nothing more. But Most Wanted did something different. This game didn't just give us a plot, it told us a story in a way that made it unforgettable. Right from the start, you know exactly what's at stake. You've been set up, lost your beloved BMW M3 GTR, and hit rock bottom. Your goal? Take back what's yours and get revenge on Razor, the smug, cocky rival who took advantage of your misfortune to become #1 on the Blacklist. It's a simple story really, but it's told in a way that gives the game an undeniable sense of character. The real magic though lies in its characters. Razor is the kind of villain you love to hate. Arrogant, overconfident, and condescending in every conversation. Every interaction with him fuels your desire to wipe that smirk off his face. Then there's Cross, the relentless cop who isn't after you because it's his job, but because he wants to bring you down. His sheer contempt for street racers and over-the-top bravado make every cutscene with him a guilty pleasure to watch. And the way that these characters are presented, it's pure brilliance. I mean, the cutscenes in Most Wanted have a unique and exaggerated style. Slightly over the top, a little cheesy, but absolutely perfect for the game's tone. The actors don't play it straight. Instead, they crank up their performances to make every scene memorable. I mean, these aren't boring dialogues that you'll want to skip. They're moments that you want to see, quote, and relive. That is why Most Wanted isn't just another racing game. It's a game that gives you a purpose. It gives you emotion and rivals that you genuinely want to defeat. And that makes every race feel even more important. Need for Speed Most Wanted is more than just a racing game. It's a masterpiece that perfectly blends speed, competition, and high-stakes police chases. Its unforgettable atmosphere, gripping progression system, and iconic characters make it stand out even decades later. Whether it's the adrenaline-pumping pursuits, the weighty driving mechanics, or the cinematic storytelling, every aspect of the game is crafted to keep players hooked. Most Wanted isn't just a nostalgic classic. It's proof that a racing game can be a full-fledged experience, filled with emotion, intensity, and style.